me, Kissing. Picture me and you under the tree, King. Oh man, sing.
Hey gang, it's Random DC here with a brand new video game review. This game is called Saints Row 2, made by THQ. Its genre is a sandbox crime game, aka murder simulator, aka a corruption of America's youth, aka something Jack Thompson secretly enjoys. And it's rated for adults. That's 18 plus. Just because you got pregnant at 13 doesn't mean you are an adult. Sequel is a word most games have a major problem with. Some sequels do the same thing as last time without exploring new possibilities. Some sequels do everything different, making you miss the older ideas. Or some sequels are just plain shit. That sums up about 85% of the entire gaming industry. So, where does Saints Row fit into that one-sided biased assumption? Saints Row is a welcome breath of fresh air, allowing you to murder thousands of stupid hip-hop speaking dipshits dressed like Snoop Dogg fans, while taking complete control of a large city. Using a variety of adult humour, meaningless yet hilarious violence made it a sandbox crime game that proudly stood on the table, dropped its trousers and told Grand Theft Auto to suck it and make it quick. Now, I am fully aware that every other reviewer and their mum has compared the new instalment, Saints Row 2, to that behemoth of bullshit GTA 4 due to it being a bad graphic version of GTA. Thankfully, I don't have to take that road, for Saints Row 2 is a better game, hands down, feet on the floor, and your ass in the air. I tend to feel this game is a lesson on how to do a sequel right.
Story.
With Saints Row's rather shocking ending, you knew a sequel would come sooner or later. The conclusion I am referring to is your custom characters on a boat that exploded in the harbour of Stillwater. Your character awakens 5 years later in a prison hospital, either male or female. The transsexual justification is you were left scarred by the explosion and needed to be a victim of plastic surgery. While I'm all for playing as a female character in a sandbox crime game, making it a nice welcome change for once, I still can't help but get the feeling you're playing as a she-man considering the character's gender of the first game. The city of Stillwater has changed during the 5 years of your burnt coma-induced state. A big corporation called Ultor has stepped in and redesigned the city. Ultor themselves are run by this smug trouser stain called Dane Vogel, who would do anything to see himself in control of your city. Also, 3 new gangs have appeared. The Sons of Samdi, who are led by drug dealers called the General and Mr. Sunshine. The Earth says hello. You got the Ronin to add the Japanese, Chinese, Asian stereotype missing from the previous game, and the Brotherhood, led by the guy who played Wolf in Star Trek The Next Generation. You learn along the way the people you thought were your friends have betrayed you, so you and Johnny Gap resurrect the 3rd Street Saints to reclaim Stillwater with you in charge. Your new lackeys consist of Pierce, the guy who reminds me of Ray from Scary Movie, Shandy, a hot stoner voiced by Faith from Buffy, and Carlos. Don't get attached to him, he gets killed. Saints Row at times feels like a standard crime box game with elements of Jet Set Radio. I'm probably going to be the only reviewer to say this, but let me explain. Like Jet Set Radio, you have to eliminate rival gangs to increase your territory using any means necessary, and there's even a graffiti minigame. Once you complete a mission, the after effects of your actions are showcased by the rival gang. Once the mission is over, you are rewarded with money, respect points, and a newspaper article of your victory. The cutscenes in this game really flesh out the characters more than the first game did. I know game trailers beg to differ, but I tend to regard their reviews about as trustworthy as shagging a rhino with a sore head. One of the weird things I find is you're now in charge of the 3rd Street Saints, which I was kind of glad of, meaning I could take a break and boss people about for a change. Yet you're the one who goes out and does all the bloody work. Guess being in charge is all it cracked up to be, but then again, a game where you sit around the house watching TV all day would be really dull.
Design.
One of Saints Row's best selling points is you can play as yourself rather than a character created for you. Unlike the original Saints Row, where your character had one line of dialogue for each story arc, he or she never shuts up in Saints Row 2, for the character customization includes voice acting for both genders. Because there's nothing funnier than telling someone to fuck off while flipping the bird and hearing a Cockney accent. Sorry. One interesting thing to note is the game does alter dialogue for each gender, so you don't hear the same lines twice if you start up a new game. I noticed with Mega Man ZX it reused the same text for either gender, which made its presentation poor, but the only complaint is all the cutscenes in Saints Row 2 are identical, meaning the female character is either a bisexual or a lesbian. The other character voices are perfect. Very few games nail this aspect, but Saints Row has some damn fine voice acting. The amount of customizable options at the beginning is really impressive. I decided to create a male character based on myself for the first playthrough, and I created a female on the second playthrough. Once you begin your criminal campaign, you can visit various stores to improve your look, such as trousers, shirts, hats, and even a Borat-inspired swimming costume. The level of customization is some of the best in any game I've played. One aspect that was annoying in Saints Row is you needed respect in order to unlock a new portion of the story arc. Thankfully, Saints Row 2 has found newer and more fun ways of gaining respect. Flipping off cops, killing rival gangs, and even driving into oncoming traffic will make your easily led followers love and respect you. The music stations in the game have more depth than the hard rock and hip hop of Saints Row 1. Reggae, classical and even 80s anthems have been added. Shame Rickroll isn't in there.
Gameplay.
If you've played any sandbox crime game before, you won't be surprised by anything here, except for the level of insanity the minigames have. Okay, I was trying to avoid it, but here's a quick little mention of GTA 4. If you gave someone the choice of either A, a bowling minigame, or B, a minigame which you drive a septic truck spraying houses and shit, which would be your first choice? The level of originality the minigames have make them a much superior addition than the one showcased in Saints Row 1. Old minigames such as drug dealing, pimping, driving whores around are still there, but inclusions of police brutality, streaking, fight clubs, helicopter carnage, and even a zombie minigame are funnier to watch and very addictive to play. The gameplay is pretty much the same as the original Saints Row. You have 2 circle sub-menus for help and weaponry, a phone call to call in homies or activate cheats, and the ability to command a team of 3 of your hip-hop henchmen to provide backup for some missions. Like Vice City, you're able to buy a property around Stillwater to increase your cash flow, which can be spent on yourself, weapons, food, drugs, vehicles, or set up cribs around the city that will provide you with places to save your game, change weaponry, and replay missions. Another reason I prefer Saints Row over GTA is you can redo old missions and strongholds instead of starting up a new save file. During driving from place to place, you can set a waypoint so you don't get lost, and even use a cruise control to make things easier.
Final verdict.
Saints Row 2 is one of the few sequels I actually like. It's funny, addictive, well set up, and provide more replay value than GTA 4 can. While the female option is a welcome breath of fresh air, I feel the cutscenes could have been altered to fit both genders. Regardless of that, if you enjoy a good round of senseless violence, adult humour, or fancy playing as your own grown psychopath, then this is the game for you. Hell, even I like it. That's a fucking miracle. Biatch.
Babality.